So we do Netivot Shalom, Torah, Parashat Noach, and let's dedicate it for all the people who got injured, sick, Kotoch Olam Israel, the terrorists, the demons, and for the success of the entire nation, all the Jews all over, and specifically now for the IDF, law enforcement, everyone in Israel that's fighting. So Parashat Noach. פרשיות החטאים הראשונים. So now we're talking about the first sins, right? We already had in Bereshit about the first murder. So now we're talking about some of the other ones that came after. So at the beginning of the Torah, we have few parashiot of he call it here החטאים הקדמונים, like the ancient sins. Etzadat, Cain, Dora Mabul, Dora Palaga, right, about the forbidden fruit, the first murder of one brother, right? The generation of the flood and the generation of the Palaga, which is like the one that they divided. And we need to understand, we need to explain. לשמה נכתב כל זאת בתורה, שניתנה רק ללמד אורחותיכם. So the Torah, if you look at it, basically, most of it is about how we should live our life and all the mitzvot, right? So why the Torah wrote all of these things here? It's supposed to teach the Jew what to do, 630 mitzvot and the branches, etc., and path in Avodat Hashem. So what do we learn from this parsha? And if the sin of the Etzadat, the forbidden fruit, right, from the tree, is related not only to Israel, but that was before we have Jews in the world, right? It's related to the entire creation, because the entire creation expecting for the tikkun, for the fix of this blemish, of the forbidden fruit. So we understand why it's written in the Torah. Okay, fine. This is something that for the entire creation, right? So, but why Cain sin is also written there? Okay, it happened. It's one brother killing another brother. And also, the same question, in the sin of the generation of the flood, of the Mabul. They did it then. It's related to that generation. And the entire creation was affected, right? But we talk about here about earth, right? So earth was infected. So Hashem did it to wipe it all. Okay, so he did it. It's gone. What is it teaching us? And also the sin of the Dora Palaga, right? The Nimrod, the one that they built a tower and they wanted to do some things. And we should say, these three sins were before the light of Avraham Avinu appeared. So the world is divided into three periods, 2,000 years each. So the first one was the Tohu, the no Torah. And Avraham was born in 1948 to the creation. And that was the beginning of this light. Because these two, the first 2,000 years of the creation, there were many sins. Why? This is how Hashem created the world. That was the order. כל סדר הבריאה, באופן של חשוכה ועדה נועדה. First, it's darkness, and then the light will come. וערב ובוקר, right? We're counting from in night and then to the day. And also, we have a shell, and inside we have the fruit. And also in Avodat Hashem, in our path to serve Hashem. First detach from the bad things, and then we can do good. So that's also included in the whole world, the whole creation, because the world of tikkun, of fixing, started from Avraham Avinu, because he fixed the world in his midah of chesed, right? Kindness, charity, hospitality. And then Yitzchak was fixing in the midat gvura, the strength. And then Yaakov was in the middle, which is the tiferet, which is emet. And he says in the Zohar Kadosh, three pillars of the world, that the world is actually standing on these three pillars. These three spiritual pillars are Torah, Avodah, and Gemilut Chasedim. Gemilut Chasedim is Avraham, right? Yitzchak was the Avodah, and Yaakov was the Torah. As it said, Titen Emet LeYaakov. And that we know that the Torah is Emet, and Hashem is Emet. And before that, before these three shepherds or fathers came to the world, there was darkness. And these three things, as our sages teaching us. They say the kina, tava, v'akavod, right? The jealousy, envy, and other people, and the desire, and the ego, or the pride, taking a person from the world, out from this world. Because these three blemishes are the worst blemishes, because the world cannot stand them, right? Usually people, when there is an arrogant person, nobody like him, right? And they're taking a person out from this world. So the first one is the jealousy, as it says in Mishlei, "V'rekev atzamot kina," like what will cause the bone to rotten? Jealousy. And that was the shoresh ached, the root of Cain, that starts from jealousy, right? I think we said that on Shulchan Shabbat about Cain, that when Hashem asked him, what was exactly the question? Hashem asked him, after he didn't accept his offering for Cain, right, before the murder. Cain was the first one to bring the offering, and then Hevel. Hevel bring from the best of his sheep, and Cain was from the garbage that he could find, because why wasting it? Hashem is anyway not going to eat it, right? So Hashem didn't accept, and Cain was very upset. And Hashem asked him, "Lama charu panecha? Why are you upset?" And the Torah, the verse before, is saying that Cain was upset because Hashem didn't accept his offering. And then the second pasuk is, why you are upset? We already have the answer. But the question is deeper. Hashem is asking him, what are you upset of? Are you upset that I didn't accept your offering, or you're upset because I accepted your brother offering? Why are you upset? Are you jealous? This is how it started. That the root of the sin of Cain started from jealousy. And from that jealousy, we had the first murder in the world, and it's actually between two brothers. It was not even an enemy, it was his own brother. And therefore the Torah wrote this sin to teach how far things can get, which a low level it can bring a person with a jealousy. And the sin of the generation of the Mabul was desire, taiva. Ishchit kol basar dako al haaretz. It means that not only men with women, men with men, men with animals. This is what happened over there. And it says in Beit Avraham that the beginning of the blemishes were from istaklut asurot, from looking at things that they shouldn't look. And it says, because the Torah says, Veiru bnei Elokim bnot ha'adam. So we have few explanations. One, bnei Elokim, which is actually the important people, the leaders that look at the women. Another explanation is about two angels that complained to Hashem, and Hashem challenged them. He said, okay, you want to go down and see what will happen to you? And they said, yeah, of course, we will be able to to conquer the world. We will be able to stand up into this test. An angel, when he's coming down to this world, he became like in a person body. So they look at the women, and again, there was a whole mess from that. And they got into that worst situation that we never had that like the same thing. Because of the blemish of looking, they reached into a tumah, an impurity that was flooded the entire creation, a spiritual impurity, that the entire creation was infected, and there was no tikkun for that. So the world couldn't bear that tumah. And that's why in the Mabul, everything was wiped, animal, bird, etc. Right? Three tfachim inside the ground, and the air 15 amma above the mountain, right? Everything. Because everything was infected. It's like a virus. So the one that didn't really sin, it was not a punishment for them. It was a necessity, because it's like a virus. You have to get rid of the virus. And then the Dora Palaga, which is also getting a nice respected space in the Torah, because their blemish was Geut v'Kavod. Geut is like pride, and Kavod is like honor. As it says, let's build ourselves a city and a tower that will touch the sky, the heaven, will make ourselves a name, right? So that was the clip of Kavod, that was the shell of the Kavod. And that was the purpose, the target, the head in heaven, and let's make ourselves a name. And the Torah wrote that also to show us how the severity and how low somebody can get with this kavod and honor, right, that he's looking for. And they were also had no tikkun, but Hashem scattered them all over the planet. So we found that the Holy Torah, and indeed teaching us in this Parashat, Orchot Chaim, the way of life, how we should live our life, and what the jealousy can bring a person, and what the kavod, and what the desire, etc. And only then, the beginning, that the revelation of the spiritual light of Avraham Avinu was started to be revealed in the world. So his tikkun started from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, which are there the Torah, Avoda, and Gvulut Chasadim. And these three pillars that the world is standing on, they are like opposite or against the three sins that we just learned, right? Agava, kavod, and the tava, the gava, and the kavod, right? That's taking out the and the kina, sorry, and the kina. So now we said, Ita Bazor HaKadosh, in another book, the Noach is a hint about Shabbos, Shabbat, right? She naicha leilai v'naicha letatai. Naicha, it's like resting. So Noach, the word Noach, it can be comfort, right? Noach will comfort us. Is the one that actually invented the plow, so it will be easy for them to plow the land. So he comforts us. But also Noach, Milshon lanuach, it's to rest. And the Zohar said it's rest for heaven and rest in this world, up and down, which means Shabbos Kodesh, right, is the tikkun to all the blemishes. What is the fix? By we putting ourselves into the Shabbos, like metaphorically, like Tevat Noach, like the ark. As our sages says, Kol HaShomer Shabbat Ke'ilchata. If you're keeping the Shabbos properly, even if Chas v'Chalila, that person was doing idol like Dor Enosh, he's been forgiven. And also in Shabbos Kodesh, we have Tachtim, Shnim, Shlishim, right? When Hashem gave Noach the instruction to build the Teva, there were like Tachtim, the bottom one, the middle one, and the upper one, which is the third one, right? They have like floors, like a cruise ship, right? So he said, and Shabbat also we have threes. The time of the Suda, right? The first one, Bit Kadesh Shabbat, when the Shabbat getting in, right? The nighttime. We are actually entering the Shabbat, where here he says, Sheyudi nofel Shabbat Kodesh b'toch yemot hachol. He said that we are like falling into Shabbos from the secular day, from the weekday. And that's the small level of Shabbat, like the little level of Shabbat, the night. And then the meal of the day, right? Which is the daytime, like the morning. It's higher than the night. And then Suda Shlishit, spiritually, is a higher level than the rest. As the Abu Dhram wrote, in this 3 period of time of Shabbos Kodesh, that Shabbat, it's like a marriage between Hashem and us. And the night of Shabbat is like the Kiddushim, and therefore we said, Ata Kiddashta, and Safrat the Shabbata, and the morning of Shabbat is like so Kiddushim is like when the Chatan is Mekadesh the Kala, right? We can say like the engagement. And then the daytime, the morning time, it's like the marriage itself. When they get that ceremony, right? We can say, or that action or the process. And Shalosh Sudot and the third meal, it's actually the Yichud, when the groom and the bride are actually getting together. And therefore we said in Shabbat Mincha, Ata Echad, you are one. Right? That Shabbat Kodesh is the Makor, the Geula. And that's the source of the Kedusha. Sorry, Shabbat Kodesh is Makor HaKedusha. It's the source of Kedusha, and it's redeeming us from all this severe blemish of the Kina, Tava, Kavod, the jealousy, the desire, and the Kavod. And even if he did idol like Dor Enosh, that he went into that lower level, still the Shabbos can take him out from it, because the strength of the Shabbat is like the Tevat Noach. Tevat Noach was a safe haven place, that he had Tachtim, Shnim, Shlishim, like the period of time that we have in Shabbat. And he says in the B'divrei Shmuel, the Inyan Zgula Tevat Noach, ומה שכל הקשרים והטהורים מתפסים למקום אחד ומתנערים לחלוטין מכל that all the proper one, the ksherim one, the kosher animals, and the non-kosher animals, but they were the animals that didn't sin, they all get together into one location, and they're like shaking off, and they're detaching themselves from the impure world that left. And that's the tikkun for the Dora Mabul. That was special. That was the only tikkun for them. And this is also for us, for example, what we're sitting together in Shabbos Kodesh, whether if it is shul, in Seuda, whatever, and we are together with unity, Then we bring the spiritual light of Shabbat Kodesh. And then we can really say that the Knesset Israel will be your mate for Shabbos, right? And Tevat Noach is really a safe haven. And the same thing, like we have the Bet HaMikdash. The Bet HaMikdash was a safe haven for the entire universe. But people didn't really realize that at the time, in some period of time. And then we did what we did, and it was destroyed. So B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to see very, very soon the building of the third one that was supposed to come already made from heaven. B'ezrat Hashem, we see the Geulah. That should be for the success of Klal Israel, especially for the one that really fighting all these demons that want to eliminate us. Thank you for listening.